That's right, ladies and gentlemen. It is Commissioner Cooper, and we are into another week of fantasy. I hope you all won last week, but if you haven't, don't worry. We just went through a flurry of injury updates, so we got a lot of waiver wire stuff to get to. We got sophisticated ads. We're going to talk about some leaders and some flops. And we're going to have a Thursday night breakdown like you've never seen before. It's time for TSS Fantasy. It's time for TSS Fantasy. Fantasy. It's time for TSS Fantasy. Fantasy. It's time for TSS Fantasy.
You know, the great thing about being a football player is you don't have to take a shower to go to work.
There it is.
Am I going to get a yeah?
Yeah! I got a slow motion that shit.
Okay.
Let's
You
go.
got the new digs. He is ready for this week. Got to love it. Let's get it started. Introductions going. Welcome into the studio, Fred the Jester Reyes,
Dude,
back from Colorado.
I was having fun in Colorado. Right before the game, I started watching scary movies. After the game. I watched that scary Sunday night game. Bro, I just been having an amazing time. It's been a horror fucking flick all weekend. Sorry for the cursing, especially the San Francisco Dallas game. That shit was scary.
Ooh, speaking of horrific, let's go ahead and pull the Band-Aid off. Judge Jordan Thomas, welcome into the studio, sir.
I am just here so I don't get fined.
And I gotta say, I had to save the best for last tonight because God, you must be feeling great. Welcome into the studio, Justin Jesus Herrera.
Guys, do you believe now? Do you believe in the one true savior, Brock Purdy? Because this man is lighting teams the fuck up. He is going hard in the damn paint. And I have never been happier to be a San Francisco 49er fan in my entire existence. I miss the Montana years. I miss the young years. But I'm here for the Purdy years. You damn straight. You heard it right here. Dynasty coming. Brock Purdy is him.
Indeed. I mean, it's almost like that Brady Belichick feel between the coach and said QB now.
Don't get me going here. Don't get me going here, Coop.
Really, don't get him going here.
I mean, it's just, we got to just, hey, say it like it is. Well, all right. Well, don't forget, go to tssfantasy.com. You can get our latest and greatest rankings up later on this week. So make sure you check that out. Also, go to Underdog Fantasy. Use the promo code TSS. We'll double that deposit up to $100, so make sure you do that. Also, Jazz Sportsbooks, lots of great promos. Use our promo code TSS there. And don't forget, if you're looking for some championship bling for your fantasy champion, look no further than Pro-Am Belts. Lots of great stuff for you there. All right, guys. Well, we got a busy show tonight. It is Waiver Wire Tuesday. And that means we got a medical professional on deck. And as I always say, we make zero money here. So let's get him in so we don't waste our dollars. Bring him in. Let's bring in the doc.
No introduction, Coop?
Sorry, my bad. My thing was on a loop, so like I couldn't hear you. It was kind of crazy. Anyway, welcome in, Doc. We're like, hey, he's just here. Welcome in, Doc. We appreciate you coming in tonight. This is a busy night tonight. We got a flurry of injury news today. So I know a lot of us are kind of scrambling around right now, trying to figure out what to do for the waiver wire. So tell us what is going on with the injury news, my friend.
Yeah, let's move Justin Jefferson to your bench if you're looking at the waiver wire. So he left Sunday's game with a hamstring strain, did not return, had an MRI yesterday on Monday, and he is headed straight to the IR. So sit Justin Jefferson right away. Just want to say that it's not a – oh, go ahead, Commissioner.
No, go ahead. Go right ahead. What were we going to say?
You know, this is really common, early season hamstring strains. And I want to say this is bigger than Jefferson. This is the natural consequence of limited preseason participation. You know, we've got fewer preseason games, players playing in fewer, if any of them, and certainly not going full speed. I think the natural consequence of that is that we see more of these calf, groin, and hamstring strains early in the season because players just aren't quite ready for game speed action. This is unfortunate because it's hurting a lot of people's rosters right now.
Yeah, indeed. Oh, I forgot to make Doc a fancy background, so we'll just put the medical one back there right now. There it is. There we go. All right, here we go. Now we're talking injury news. All right. So no, the one thing I wanted to mention was make sure we'll talk about this in a little bit. But KJ Osborne, obviously Jordan Addison's already pretty much on everyone's roster, but KJ Osborne obviously be something we'll talk about in the waiver wire is concerned. But, you know, as you mentioned with these, there's been a lot of hamstring injuries pop up. And this Vikings team, it becomes an interesting saga for them almost because it's like you don't want to jeopardize Justin Jefferson for the next season. What does that mean for Kirk Cousins? Does that mean this organization says, hey, let's shop Kirk Cousins around, the Jets, the Falcons, you know, some of those teams that need a QB? You know, there's a lot of questions that go on with this. So, you know, again, now putting him on the IR, that's at least 4 weeks or 3 weeks without your best guy. So a lot of questions for this Vikings team going forward. All right, Doc, my bad. I just want to get that off my chest.
Oh, no, you're good. Let's move to Indianapolis. So Anthony Richardson, we knew when he landed squarely on that shoulder that it was going to be the clavicle or collarbone that took the brunt of the force. I think he had two options. Either it was going to break or he was going to have an AC or a acromioclavicular injury. And I think, unfortunately, it didn't break in this case because now he's dealing with a grade 3 AC sprain in his right throwing shoulder. So at grade 3, there's some degree of tearing of the ligaments connecting his collarbone to his shoulder blade. This is really problematic. So grab your anatomy books. Those 3 ligaments are the trapezoid, the conoid, and the acromioclavicular ligaments. And at grade 3, in addition to that tearing of the tissue there's some joint separation. So even if this is non-surgical, it's going to have him in a sling for several weeks. But given it's grade 3, given it's his throwing arm, I don't think surgery is out of the question. I think there's more to come on this in the next couple of days. I think you can safely bet that this is almost certainly a trip to the IR. It means his earliest possible return date is going to be November 11th. However, let's have a bye week the following week. So I think the most likely earliest return for Richardson is November 26th. You know, the bigger story, he's left 3 or 4 games this season. His aggressive run style suited him well in college, but it's probably not a longevity strategy for his NFL career.
No, not at all. And it's Gardner Minshew time, by the way, who's a very serviceable backup for this squad. So, again, we'll talk more about, you know, the fantasy implications of this injury. But, again, Gardner Minshew season, very capable to fling the ball down the field. So we'll see. All right, Doc, who else we got?
Yeah, so moving to Miami, how do you say your boy running back's name? Devon what?
It's well, again, it's been this big debate, I guess, back and forth, but it's supposed to be, from what I understand, a Chan is what it's supposed to be.
So Devon Chan sustained a knee injury on Sunday. As a courtesy to the commissioner, I was really trying to find what specific tissue's been injured here. But right now it's just knee injury. It's not reported that it's going to be season ending, so that's good news. However, he is expected to miss multiple weeks. He was having a great rookie season, so condolences to you, Commissioner.
I think we're okay though, because we got, like, we'll talk about this more in a second. Got Jeff Wilson Jr. on deck, going to bring him up from the, and I like that, you know, giving him a little maintenance now. Let these little things, you know, it's early in the season. Let's have him healthy down the stretch when we need him. So I'm good with it.
All right, let's head to the Giants. So Daniel Jones injured his neck this weekend. Same injury they're reporting that he had in 2021, which cost him 6 games that season. We've got to remember his concussion history also, which I think is very closely connected to these repeated neck strains. These 2 injuries are very intimately linked. The reports are now that he should be able to return this weekend, but you're looking at a very chronic issue here, right? It's neck strain, it's concussion. So, it's certainly possible that we see one of these reappear later this season. But the bigger question in New York is whether Saquon Barkley is going to return this weekend. So good news is he was a limited participant at practice last week, but I think that's probably where the good news ends. I mean, I don't know. Your guess is as good as mine. Is he going to return?
The bigger question is, does he want to return?
Yeah, I think that's the better question. So Zay Jones from the Jags hurt his knee during week 2, cost him weeks 3 and 4, and he left week 5 again with that knee injury. Jones is considered day-to-day right now. Moving to Arizona, James Conner sustained a knee injury this weekend. There is discussion currently of him missing multiple weeks and potentially moving to the IR. Travis Kelce, so sustained a lateral ankle sprain during week 5. He did return. So I think medically that's really encouraging that it's nothing major. However, it is a short week for the Chiefs, and they're playing the Broncos, so he may sit Thursday, which if he does is glorified load management. I don't mean there's something medically wrong with him. It just might be wise to sit him now, let him play later in the season. Moving to Chicago, Rashawn Johnson is in concussion protocol after exiting Thursday night's game in the second quarter, so stay tuned to Brian's report later in the week on Rashawn Johnson. Mike Evans had a hamstring strain in week 4, was on a bye last week, but he is expected to be back during week 6. And lastly, Deshaun Watson's day-to-day right now with a bruised throwing arm rotator cuff. That's the muscles in his shoulder. There's optimism in the organization that he's going to be ready for week 6 after that week 5 bye. Good news for Watson owners. He's already throwing in practice.
Good stuff, Doc. We appreciate it. I added on later, I also picked up that Dalton Kincaid and Tank Dell both are in concussion protocol as well. So just something for you guys to take note of. Doc, we appreciate you coming in, my friend. We will see you next week. Hope you enjoy the weekend. And we'll see you then, my friend.
Great show, guys.
Thank you, my brother. All right, let's talk about our weekly leaders for week 5.
You're muted.
You're muted.
Oh, my bad. Let's get on to the weekly leaders for this week. Justin Fields, numero uno, 33 points. Josh Allen with 28. Jalen Hurts with 28 as well. Jared Goff with 27. And Sam Howell with 26. Also, a little shout out to Desmond Ridder following up at the number 6 spot as well. So, yowza there. Is there anyone, just kick it around to you guys, anyone on this leaderboard with the QB spot that you take note of? Like maybe a Desmond Ridder out of fucking nowhere. Jordan, how about you, friend?
I mean, Desmond Ridder for sure, but slinging Sam Howell, man, his team may be dog crap, but that guy is absolutely a fantasy asset.
Yeah, no, 100%. Justin, how about you, friend?
I like that Joe Burrow made his way back into the top 10 this week. Number 8, looking like his calf injury is finally healing up. It works when you hyper target Jamar Chase for like 1 million catches and 1 million touchdowns, right?
Crazy.
Whoever had Jamar Chase. I actually had a quick story. I had a buddy who had DJ Moore, thought he was going to win the game, and he played against Jamar Chase and lost by 2.
Oh, man. Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually had Jamar Chase and lost. So,
Wow.
Yeah.
That's heartbreaking.
Yeah. How about you, Fred? Anyone in the QB spot that leadership that you made note of?
Yeah.
Probably not, because you just looked at the show sheet like 20 minutes.
You know what? I did do though on fantasy real quick. I did trade up. I was telling Jason the other day, about 3 days ago. I traded my number 1 pick in Dynasty for Brock Purdy. So Brock Purdy has actually won me my last 2 weeks. I said, what the hell? I'm gonna take a shot and maybe somebody's gonna do something. Or Brock Purdy, who's 24, and look at this shit right here.
Yeah, no, Brock Purdy's been nice. Absolutely. All right, well, let's go to the running backs. I'll give you the top 5. Travis Etienne with number 1 at 36. Zach Moss. Wow, he's been a surprise. 33 points, even with JT back in a half. Brees Hall with 28. Chan, we mentioned a minute ago, with 21.5. And David Montgomery's having a solid-ass year, too, with 20.9. Justin, anyone that you want to take note of here in the leadership as far as the running backs are concerned?
Shit. I mean, how is it not Zach Moss? Like, what? Like, this guy he continues to produce, and you're just like, but you were in Buffalo and you sucked. Like, what's the difference? What happened here? What was the transformation? I guess you really do sometimes got to leave and learn a new hold, to use an old wrestling term. But yeah, I would say Zach Moss. It's going to be interesting to see how like this dynamic goes forward, because I got Jonathan Taylor stored on a couple of my benches, and I'm like a little shaky about these next 2 weeks. Even though they're good matchups, I'm like, is Zach Moss going to really make my decision this hard?
Yeah, I mean, he can't, like I said, out of nowhere. We're all like Zach Moss. He's just been garbage, and he really has. Basically, his time at Buffalo was not a very good one. So this has been an absolute surprise. Fred, anyone on the leadership board that you wanted to talk about there?
Robert Dan Saleh, about freaking time. You know what you had the whole season, and you just let this man get loose? We knew what we had. We could have won a couple of more games. It's Brees Hall. I watched that shit. That was a thing of beauty. I loved every little bit of it. Do not put Dalvin Cook in the damn lineup anymore. The most he gets is 3 or 4 touches with his 2 fucking yards to carry. Keep him to the sideline. It's Brees Hall. And I got something for you too. I remember what I said about my fantasy team. I remember 3 of my guys are on this list. You two. You, and you.
What fantasy team are we talking about?
Remember when they were like, oh, Fred's team is the world. Oh, my God. I know who picked this.
All right. Well, I mean, you're still only 3-2. So, settle down. All right. So how about you, Jordan? Anyone on the leadership board take note of?
It's a long season, Freddie. It's a long season.
Better.
That's all I'm going to say. Listen, and I said it last week, too. If ever there was the Brees Hall breakout week, it was definitely this past week, and it happened. And look, I will say I'm probably the last one of this group to be on the Devin Achane bus, and it sucks that he might miss some time now, but literally, if that guy gets 3 carries, he can get 178 yards and 2 touchdowns. Like, he's ridiculous. I love this guy. He's phenomenal.
Yeah, he's lightning in a bottle for sure. Yes,
Has Montgomery been top 5 like the last 3 straight weeks? He's been balling.
He's been balling.
Beginning of the season, nobody saw that. Like they were like, Jamar get like.
Right, for sure. He's definitely been balling out. And the thing with Montgomery is he's also had injury history too. So I think that always, at least for me anyway, that always kind of shied me from him. Like, well, he's always hurt at some point. Right now, man, he is definitely playing lights out. So hats off to him.
You know what's actually crazy? Just going off of Fred's point, Jamal Williams went for 20 touchdowns last year, and we didn't fucking see this coming. Like, come on, dude. Like, they literally told you the same roles. Like, Jamal Williams is David Montgomery and Jameer Gibbs is DeAndre Swift.
Really just
Guess what?
Love their least talented running back year after year. I can't explain the offense. It makes no fucking sense, Justin.
It's like we're trying to ask Dan Campbell to be finesse, and he's like, no, fucking put in the bulldozer. Put in the bulldozer.
Do you imagine if this team had drafted another wide receiver instead of a running back, something they could actually use? Like, it blows my mind.
Dan Campbell doesn't
Jordan Addison in that offense.
Indeed. Yeah. All right, let's get on to receivers. Speaking of Jordan Addison, Jamar Chase, numero uno, 52.2 points. DJ Moore, 49 at number 2. Tyreek Hill, number 3 at 32.1. Adam Thielen, number 4, 27.7. And George Pickens in here at number 5, 26.6. And Fred, any one of the receivers you want to take note of?
Another one of my receivers on my team, Adam Thielen, baby. He has been killing it. We all once again we all thought it was gonna be what the hell's his name? Shark.
DJ Shark.
Right. And his old ass has been going out there, catching everything, getting the most targets, and they just love him. Thank you, Adam Thielen. Keep it up the rest of the season.
Oh, what a Thielen it is. He's definitely killing it for sure. Jordan, what are you saying? Anyone you want to take note of here?
I just want to say I never had any faith in DJ Chark. I just did not any longer have any faith in Adam Thielen. But I was wrong, Freddie. You were absolutely right, and you deserve your flowers. And you know what, Justin? You deserve your flowers for DJ Moore. I'm just glad we finally got a good Jamar Chase game. Thank God.
Let's not forget, Freddie was so scared to play me. He sat Adam Thielen. That's why he lost. Justin, how about you? Anyone to take note of?
Yeah, it's actually top 10 for me on this one. Jacoby Myers is outplaying Devontae Adams right now. I told everybody on Twitter, go get these number 2 receivers because they're dirt cheap compared to it. Devontae Adams and Jacoby Myers. When Jacoby Myers is on the field, Jimmy Garoppolo immediately looks for the first option, the closest person to him. That's Jacoby motherfucking Myers every single time.
Wow.
So, yeah, I'm going to shout out Jacoby Myers because he deserves it.
He was a little banged up, too, to be fair. But it is your point. To your point, though, he has been feeding Myers all season. And he's played exceptionally well coming over from New England, by the way. Take note of that as well. All right, well, let's talk about these tight ends. George Kittle, America's tight end, 27.7. How about Dallas Goedert, number 2? I hope you took that advice on Sunday, Mr. Just. I say one more week. Hopefully, here it is, 25.7.
It still didn't get me the win, though. It's 20 points, but it still didn't get me the win. I appreciate it, though. I appreciate that advice.
Number 3, Travis Kelce, of course, 22.7. Logan Thomas, that was someone else we talked about picking up last week, 20.7. And Sam Laporta, Justin told you all offseason, pick him up. He's number 5, 19.7. I'll just finish up with the D's here. Saints, 24 points. Steelers, 18. Jets, 18. Bengals, 16. And 49ers, 16. All right, let's get on and talk about some of those nasty, disgusting flops that we had this weekend.
Can't you morons do anything right? They did their best.
Flip-flops. Flip-flops.
They did their best.
Flip-flops.
Calm down, diddly 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 diddly.
Well, there were some players that were not so nice this week, and yeah, let's talk about it. So QB wise, there's somebody that I just want to bring up before I go. Trevor freaking Lawrence, bro. Like I'm so angry at you. You're just such bleh all season. You're supposed to be the guy, my guy. You were my guy this year. It was, Jalen Hurts last year for me. This year is supposed to be this big Trevor Lawrence thing. You have done absolutely nothing. You're 16th this week. Lamar Jackson's 19th. Jordan Love, 24th. Dak Prescott, 25th. Daniel Jones, 26th. Mac Jones, 31st. Oh, I wanted to mention Mac Jones at 31st. There was actually only 28 teams that played. And here are people who went in front of him. Bailey Zappi, the guy who came in later and did better. Anthony Richardson, who went out. Tyrod Taylor, who came in. And Gardner Minshew, all were higher than Mac Jones. I mean, that is freaking embarrassing. All right, Jordan, anyone out of this list here that if you had on your roster, you'd be willing to drop?
Dak Prescott. Get rid of him. Send him packing. I am done. But I would just like to point out one thing. As terrible as Dak Prescott was, he was still one spot higher than that heaping pile of crap Daniel Jones for the New York Giants.
Yes, this is true. All right, Justin, what say you? Anyone else you want to think is droppable on this QB flop list?
Oh man, it's starting to get down to that way with Jordan Love. Like that was a horrible fucking game last night. And, everybody's like, oh, well, he's only Christian Watson running out the end zone away from having an okay game. I don't want okay. You were playing a bad defense and you got picked off 3 times to practically the same fucking guy. Come on now. You need to be better. He hasn't really been that great as far as completion percentage either. I think like last night was like one of his very few games where he was above 50% completion percentage. Like this guy has just been, first 2 weeks were great. And now it's like right back to where we thought he was like originally. So
He is.
I'm kind of done with the Jordan Love
He
experience.
was. All right. Let's say you, Fred. Anyone on this list you drop?
I wouldn't drop Lamar Jackson. I'm just severely disappointed in him. You just played a Steelers team that gave up 30 points to the Texans and a rookie quarterback in C.J. Stroud, and you come back and lay an egg in a division game and lose 17-10. That was your chance to get a grip and just really put your step on Steelers' neck, and he just let it slip by. You got to be better than that.
Yeah,
I'm going to be fair, Fred. Fred. Mark Andrews and Zay Flowers were dropping balls all goddamn day long.
That is true. That is a point that I heard earlier as well.
Fantasy score, Justin.
That's I had him too, bro. I had
What happened
him.
to one of my teams? I'm like, what are you doing?
It helps no one. All right, the running backs. Alexander Madison was 20th. Bijan Robinson is 22nd. Damian Pierce, 27th. Derrick Henry, 28th. Tony Pollard, 29th. Brian Robinson, 30th. Kyron Williams, 32nd. James Cook, 36th. Najee Harris, 37th. Gus Edwards, 38th. James Conner, 39th. Ramondre, 51st. And Miles Sanders, 64th. Ew. Justin, anyone on this list you're willing to drop?
Oh man, it's so hard because it's running backs.
Right.
That's one of those positions where, like, yeah, I mean, you're seeing them drop like every single week, so it's like, fuck, man, like I can't lose another one. If I had to choose right now, somebody I could drop, if you haven't already dropped him, it would be fucking Gus Edwards. I mean, this team is honestly, it's dysfunctional. Todd Monken, I don't know what the hell he's actually doing as the offense coordinator. Everybody says that he's great. I'm like, what are we doing here? Like, you can't move the ball on the ground. You're not letting Lamar move the ball on the ground. And you're pretty much just setting him up for failure because he's not naturally a pocket passer. Even at Louisville, he was somebody who would get out to the side and find somebody open. That's just his natural instincts, is to use his legs in some way, shape, or form. They're trying to keep him in a box, and I don't think it's working. And when you're doing that, you're really limiting what your offense can do. And Gus Edwards, while sometimes he looks good, most of the time he looks like shit. I'd rather have Justice Hill at this point, and maybe even try throw a flyer at that rookie. They've been talking a lot about him, Keaton Mitchell.
All right, so I want to ask the other two about dropping any of these guys. I know it's hard to drop any running backs.
But Monday Stevens is getting close.
I was going to say I don't know about dropping,
He's
but
taking up my roster spot for no damn reason.
He might be Bill Belichick might be dropping him for him.
I would like to talk about one guy real quick.
Sure.
A special thank you to my boy Miles Sanders, who I swore off like 3 seasons ago ever drafting again. I'm in a guillotine league, and I really I'm controlling all the money right now. I'm feeling really good because people are about to start dropping, and I'm about to start eating. And I just needed that one player to push me over the top. So I traded Amari Cooper on a buy for Miles Sanders, and I only got 0.16 extra points out of that. So fucking thanks.
Yeah. Miles Sanders has been a huge disappointment. He definitely on be my drop list for sure. All right, let's go to receivers. Michael Pittman Jr., 23rd. Ayuk was 37th. Chris Olave, 40th. CeeDee Lamb, 42nd. Terry McLaurin, 44th. Devonta Adams, 45th. Garrett Wilson, 46th. Exactly. Nico Collins, 53rd. Jahan Dotson, a familiar spot this year at 56th. Justin Jefferson, he got hurt, so it doesn't really matter. Cortland Sutton, 82nd. Devonta Smith, 98th. Wow. Oh, God, he really hurt me this weekend. Fred, how about you? Anyone on this list you'd be willing to drop, or you're maybe
Sutton, because when I was in Denver, all I heard about was Jerry Jeudy and Sutton will be traded. That was everywhere. They were trying to they are both on the block. They didn't do nothing out there. Their fans were screaming like, get open. I mean, they were being terribly abused. So Sutton might be the one to go.
Poor guy. Oh, shoot. All right. Well, Jordan, I want to ask you how to drop, but anyone that you took note of or you want to talk about on the drop list?
The
or on
Devontae
the
Smith
flop. My bad.
overcorrection is coming. In any game now, he's going to
Yeah.
have like 194 yards and 3 touchdowns.
I hope so.
And
not this
man,
week.
you're not dropping him,
No.
but I'm getting real sick of Chris Olave not producing for my fantasy team. It's just week in and week out. That guy has so much damn talent, and they are just not getting him the ball the way they should be.
Well, I got the weak sauce back there at the QB right now. Justin, what say you? Anyone you want to talk about on the receiver end?
Yeah, I'm not going to pile it on too much, Jordan, but CD goddamn Lamb needs to pull something together here. He has been miserable through 5 weeks. Last year, he tore up the 49ers in the playoffs, and I was like thinking, this is like the perfect matchup. He went like 10 for like 95 last year against them. I was just like, okay, here we go. CD Lamb, elite wide receiver. Didn't do fucking shit.
No.
And that was the only one I was super disappointed with because I still Dallas Cowboy roster. You know, I'm a big CD Lamb fan, but he has been dropping a fucking egg every single time, and I'm almost sick of it. I'm almost shipping this guy out and fucking undercutting it, getting somebody else who's just I know skill wise is worse, but at least will give me production.
Yeah,
So-
Jahan Dotson's for me as well on this list of people that I'm just like, I'm over it. I don't see it getting any better and go on. Sorry, Jordan, let me interrupt you. What were you saying?
No, I was just gonna say there are leagues right now where I feel good because I overdrafted wide receiver, and I feel like I can swap a guy like CeeDee Lamb, and my team is okay enough. I can go get a Jamar Chase, who has maybe I missed that window, but now Justin Jefferson's on the shelf for a couple weeks. That buy low window starts today, baby. So I'm with you, man. I'm out on this Cowboys offense.
He's out with you, man. Tight ends: T.J. Hawkinson 14th, Zach Ertz 16th, Evan Ingram 20th, Jake Ferguson 22nd, Tyler Higbee 29th, Don Kincaid 31st, but he went out with a concussion, so that makes sense. All right, let's get on and talk about this week's waiver wire pickup.
Waiver wire.
Tar riff. Let's get it on. It's waiver wire Tuesday. I'm just gonna go around the room instead of reading some off. We'll go around we'll go to Jordan first. Give me we'll go the QB spot. Anyone you're looking to pick up for your waiver wire in the QB area.
Slinging Sam Howell should absolutely be on your roster. That guy he's just gonna sling it 100 times every game. I'm all for him.
Slinging Sam Howell. I like it. What about you, Justin? Anyone you're picking up in the QB?
For the QB, if you're in redraft, Bryce Young might be there. He had a hell of a game. And, to Freddie's point, Adam Thielen is getting heavily involved in this offense. DJ Chark, who we shit on, was actually a wide receiver. He was wide receiver 24, which was better than what we all thought he would be going into the season. So, this offense may find something in the coming weeks. I like the guy from Carolina, even though he's playing America's team.
Playing America's team means pretty decent production out of the QB spot. So, it's game script and, and the fact that the secondary isn't all that great right now. So you got two things working for you. So Bryce Young might not be a bad pickup this week. Fred, what do you think for QB?
Definitely go with Gardner Minshew. Weak division. Anthony Richardson going to be out for quite a while. He knows how to play. You got Taylor back. He's only going to get better. Pittman is still good. So I would definitely go with Gardner Minshew. He's going to throw that ball.
I like that. I also like Matt Stafford. He's with Cooper Kupp now back. He's also got a little thing with Puka Nacua going on. So Matt Stafford right now I think is and he's definitely out there in a lot of leagues. I was trying to find the percent to say what it was, and then the biggest thing for him this week is of course playing the Cardinals, who are 27th against fantasy QBs. So definitely not a bad ad for this week if you need someone in a pinch. Josh Dobbs, I kind of threw out there as well, just if you're in a pinch. Again, we'll bring up running backs. Excuse me. Let's start with Justin. Anyone you're looking to pick up with the running backs?
Yeah. So as we've been talking about, running back is really short. One guy that I'm really interested in going and grabbing is actually Kendry Miller. Last week, he kind of showed a little bit of life as compared to the previous week. Maybe it's just him getting his legs underneath him as a rookie and being out the first 2 games. But he did go out and catch 4 balls for 53 yards, which was very promising. He was also playing alongside Alvin Kamara and was able to get 12 carries off of him. I know you don't play the Patriots every single week, but Houston is a great matchup for running backs. So I would not be surprised if they try and get the rookie his first touchdown this week.
I like that. Fred, how about you?
I'm going to go with McLaughlin for the Denver Broncos. I think they're going to start going the young route, and I think they should really start feeding him the ball. As you see, they already got rid of the defensive end, and there's nothing else to do. Their season is washed. I mean, the guy was running great the first quarter. I mean, I don't know why they stopped giving him the ball. He had 9 carries for 68 yards, so I would definitely go with him to start feeding him the ball a little bit.
Yeah, and he looked like he got a little juice to him, so gotta like that. Jordan, how about you?
Man, I said it last week. If Jeff Wilson Jr. is sitting out there on that waiver wire, any running back in Miami that cracks the rotation is just going to eat. Like, that's all they do. And Justin also mentioned earlier, I think this is more of a deep one for you to stash, but nobody's real confident in any of these guys in Baltimore. Keaton Mitchell might be a guy in a few weeks. He could be coming.
Jeff Wilson Jr. You know what? I must have him in like so many leagues right now. And the reason being is because last year, people seem to forget Jeff Wilson Jr. was like our best running back for the majority of the season. So I like Jeff Wilson going into this season, going in as a big pickup. Amari DeMarcado, that's somebody else that was brought up. Justice Hill, Ezekiel Elliott, Tajay Spears also making a presence felt with the Titans, so something else to look out for. All right, let's go to receivers. Fred, who are you looking up to pick up in the waiver wire for the receiver?
This I don't know because I don't like Dobbs. I don't like. I think I'm gonna go with. It has to be KJ Osborne because when you lose a number 1 receiver like Justin Jefferson, you got to replace him, and it's really hard to replace. I mean, I know you got Addison over there, but he's just so hard to replace. You have to go with Osborne. If he's out there, pick him up.
Jordan, how about you?
I'm still rocking with Josh Downs. He absolutely, in my opinion, has cemented himself as the second pass catcher in this offense. And honestly, I think Gardner might throw it up a little bit more. So I really like Downs right now as kind of a grab and stash.
Yep, I like that. Oh, I forgot to mention, too, Deonta Foreman as well, just because right now the Bears running back core is depleted. So somebody to also look out for if you need someone in a stash for a running back. Justin, how about you for receiver?
So I'm going to go with a deep one at this point. I'm going with Justin Watson in Kansas City. This guy, I don't know what it is, but this guy, he has got Patrick Mahomes' number. He's got a key to his house. He watches his dog when he's away. There is some connection there that they really like, and they really like going to this guy deep. So this guy could end up being like a Donovan Peoples-Jones where you put him in for 1 week because you need, a flex because all the bye weeks are coming up, and he could put up a 14 burger for you. Last week, he went for 3. He had 3 catches, 56 yards. Listen, who else is on this team who's productive? Travis Kelce, and he just, maybe got himself an ankle injury. If he's not out, he's going to be tender for this upcoming Thursday game. I guarantee you that. They're going to be looking for somebody else to make an impact. I'm taking a shot in the dark. I don't think it's Kadarius Toney. I'm going to go with Justin Watson.
You know what? That's not a bad shot in the dark either, because it feel like every time, especially when Travis Kelce is hurt, he seems to step up big every time. So maybe because he's just the big white boy and freaking Pat Mahomes thinks he's Kelce out there. I'm not sure what it is, but you're totally right on the money with that. So I like that grab. I didn't even have him on the list, so absolutely love it. All right, let's go to the tight end positions. Let's go to, and I apologize, guys, because my screen has just gone completely black. I can't see anything. I don't know.
We're getting ready for Halloween.
Something's going on.
Your lighting in the back is like off.
Yeah. It's great. Well, it's because like my screen went completely black and the whole thing. So I might have to pop out. So while I'm doing that, let's talk about tight ends. We'll go around the room. Let's go. We'll start with Jordan. Give us your tight end you're looking at for off the waiver wire.
So tight end on the waiver wire really just depends on the week, but man, I just keep seeing Jonnu Smith week after week after week after week outperforming Kyle Pitts. If I didn't know better, if I were just like watching this with no prior knowledge, I would think that guy's their number one option in that offense. So give me Jonnu Smith.
I like you. Justin, how about you, friend?
Let's go with Logan Thomas, a staple of the commissioner. Obviously, coming alive with Sam Howell, currently tight end 11 on the week, and he did it with only one big week. 11 targets, 9 catches, 77 yards, and a touchdown. If you find somebody like that, why would you not go back to him? So I'm going to go. That's my dart throw. It's a pretty safe dart throw on the week.
Safe dart throw indeed. I like it. Fred, how about you? Anyone tight end wise you're looking to pick
I'll
up?
go with Noah Fant. You have him there. He's not really good. I mean, yeah, he catches 4 here, 4 there, 2 here. I mean, he's on this thing because he played the Giants and he averaged 30 damn yards a catch. But, you know, the slim pickings, man. Week to week, tight ends pop up, tight ends leave. So
I like it.
Just shoot it in there, man.
I like it. All right. Well, like I said, I'm in the dark over here. I'm going to try to fix a couple things. While I do that, Justin, could you do me a huge solid? Get me pulled up the Thursday night breakdown video because we're about to do that. Hopefully, while we're
that
out,
shit live right here.
let's do it for the Thursday
Fred. Fucking Fred, doing it live. I love it. All right. Oh, hold up. Fred, give it to me. Let's go. Break down.
Break it down.
Here we go.
Take it to break.
The form is so consistent. It's beautiful.
Yes, we got the game of the week this Thursday.
Do we got the game of the week this Thursday?
I'll tell you what, man. This Thursday night schedule has been whack as all hell. Come on now.
Look at the 2 night games this week. The Broncos and Chiefs, and then on Sunday night, the Giants and Bills.
Oh, my God.
I really wish they would just do away with Thursday nights. I won't lie. I'm probably in the extreme minority there, but it's terrible. Every freaking week, it's terrible. Even when it's 2 good teams, it's terrible. Just give them the full rest every week and let's go.
Yeah, it definitely feels like they try and do what the NBA does every once in a while on TNT and put the Sacramento Kings on. You're just like, nobody wants to see that fucking shit.
That's how they get there. That's how they get. Everybody wants to see the Broncos right now. Let's go.
Hey, Sacramento's kind of good though. Like, let's give them their flowers. The Kings are pretty solid. They got some stuff going on.
No, I'm low key a Kings fan, but like for so many years, it has been like one of those things where they give you one time slot, and they're just like everybody turns off. That's like the lowest rated TNT freaking basketball game.
Like the 30 at night. Like the Wizards versus the Kings.
Oh God. You don't even know that hurts me so much. Every time the Wizards play the Kings, because I'm in the DC area, I always go to that game. It is always lit as fuck too with Kings fans. I'm like, I have friends. Y'all like pain too, huh?
We're talking about the great Thursday night game of the Chiefs versus Broncos, with the Chiefs winning 15 in a row.
What's funny is that I totally forgot to ask you guys again this week to get the graphic up, but then I was like, oh my God, it's Broncos Chiefs. I don't think it really matters, really. But I don't know if you guys read this part that I wrote. What I'll tell you about this game, which is crazy, and in fact, I don't know if it's going to change because, you know, weather does change. But right now it stands to be 75 degrees, rain likely, and the winds up to 24 miles an hour. So I don't know what the hell's going on, but if you look at the NFL weather for the entire weekend, there's a lot of windy and rainy games coming up this weekend. So just something to take note of. Maybe it's an equalizer. Who knows? But yes, the Chiefs have won 15 in a row. Last season, they won 34-28, 27-24. Believe it or not, the Broncos, before the Chiefs had went on their streak, they had won 7 in a row, believe it or not. Crazy enough. Chiefs are favored by 10.5. The over-under is 49. As far as the fantasy matchups go, Broncos dead last against QBs, dead last against running backs. They're 20th against receivers and 28th against tight ends. It is not good. Chiefs are 10th against QBs, a very underrated defense. Running backs are 7th against receivers are 10th, and against tight ends are 17th. This is probably be one of the quicker analysis of the night, but Jordan, we'll start with you. Give me some guys you like and don't like. Who's your winner?
Hey, I think these Broncos statistics might be, a little misleading. When you give up, 785 yards on the ground in one game to the Miami Dolphins, that will usually cause you to be dead last in those rankings. But even with that game not in consideration, I'm pretty sure they still suck and are at the end. Start Travis Kelce, start Patrick Mahomes. Don't start anybody else in this game.
I say that every week.
I think Jaleel McLaughlin is a nice play. I think there's some Broncos. I think I'm having internet. Damn, you know how it is. All right, let's go to Justin. Guys you like and don't like, and who's the winner?
I like Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, and everybody else. You know what? On a serious note, I'll play Russell Wilson because he has not been that bad fantasy-wise. He's been all right. He's been okay. If you're in a pinch and you need somebody because you got somebody on a bye week, go for it. But everybody else on that team, I do not want any piece of that. I don't want to decide between Judy and Sutton.
No.
Mims, Jordan, we called it way too soon. Mims may not be Hims at all.
Mims is Hims. Mims is Hims. Russell Wilson just sucks at football now. And Sean Payton, the game has passed him by. You cannot convince me that Mims is not Hims. That's my guy. That's my dog. That guy is going to be my guy. I'm calling it right now. I'm calling my shot. 2024, Mims is my guy.
All right. He heard it here first. Let's go to the guy who has half a green screen up. Fred, what do you say?
I don't hit my green screen and everything. All right. Hey, hold on. All right. So, let me tell you. I'm going to get attacked by my
We have technical difficulties.
So, let me tell you.
I saw a box of Pampers back there.
There we go. We're back to normal, guys. So let me tell you a couple of things. I agree with Justin. I would start damn it, man. Here we go.
Patrick Mahomes?
No, man. Russell Wilson and McLaughlin, because you know what? The only way to stop the Chiefs keeping them off the field, you got to run the ball. Now, I do like Rashee Rice. We didn't talk about him earlier. We were talking about Kansas City. He has been getting a lot of targets, at least 5 per game. I'm looking at his stats. The last 3 games, he had 7, 5, and 5. Now, he's like in the last game, he did get a touchdown with his 5 targets. So he's been targeted every single game multiple times. So maybe I'll go with him as well.
Yeah, I think, like I said, game script's going to dictate the Broncos are going to have to throw the football in this game. So I don't think any of the Broncos are bad plays. Maybe in a real football game, I wouldn't play them. But in this matchup for fantasy purposes, some of these Broncos like Judy and Sutton, I think will still be decent plays. Adam Troutman, we talked about him over the weekend. We kind of giggled, but we said, we said the Jets actually had a bugaboo against tight ends, and look, he got in the end zone himself. So, who knows? Game script may dictate the Broncos at least will play well fantasy wise, but as far as game purposes, I mean, I didn't do the grammar down. we all like the Chiefs in this matchup. All right, well, I'm going to get off this stupid internet and let's finish the night up with some sophisticated waiver wire pickups from our boy, Mr. Matt.
Welcome to Sophistication Station.
Hello and welcome again for making a stop here at Sophistication Station. I am Andrew LeDuc, aka Mr. Mallard, and this week we have some big waiver wire targets for you to go after. In Arizona, with James Conner looking like he could miss multiple weeks with a knee injury, we'll see what that turns out for him. Mario DeMarcado, if I'm saying that name correctly, will be the next guy up, it seems, over Keontae Ingram. This is a 215-pound, 5'9" product of TCU who seems like he's going to be ready to jump right in here. It's better than a lot of other options out there running back right now, so take a shot on DeMarcado and see what he can do for your lineup. And then in Tennessee, Tajay Spears is slowly carving out a role for himself behind Derrick Henry. Now, Derrick Henry, as we know, is often hurt. So if Henry does get hurt, Spears will jump right into that role, it seems. But even with Henry there, this is still a run-heavy offense. Spears should still get around 9 to 12 total touches, I would say, in each game. So Spears could be useful for you in flex spots. And then Jamal Williams is almost back from injury. He's out there in a lot of leagues. He's still the clear best guy after Alvin Kamara in that offense at running back. So I expect Williams to possibly fall right back into his goal line glory days. So get back Williams on your team. KJ Osborne is someone I wasn't very excited about in the offseason, but KJ Osborne is now the clear number 2 behind rookie Jordan Addison. Osborne has already been getting involved, even as the number 3, so I look for Kirk Cousins to continue to be throwing the ball. This is a very pass-heavy offense, so KJ Osborne should get his touches and be able to be a wide receiver 3 flex option for you. And then finally, Josh Downs in Indianapolis. Anthony Richardson is hurt again here. We'll see how long it is, but it's looking like multiple weeks. He's now the clear number 2 behind Michael Pittman with a 23% target share this past week. With Richardson injured again, Minshew should be throwing the ball more than Richardson was. More opportunities should lead to more production for an electric Josh Downs. Once again, I am Andrew LeDuc, aka Mr. Mallard, and this is Sophistication Station on TSS Fantasy. Stay classy, my friends.
I hope he washes that robe every week.
Indeed, my friend. Indeed. All right, well, fellas, we got a fun Wednesday champs versus chumps tomorrow night. Our friend Ryan Miner is going to be in the building taking on our boy Cricket. Lions versus Bucks. So make sure you check us out tomorrow night. And then, of course, Friday, we'll be breaking down all of week 6 and wake up with us on Sunday as we get ready and get going for your week 6 lineups. All right, guys. Well, we appreciate you, and we are out.